If your business paid a non-employee $600 or more throughout the course of the year, then you are required to file Tax Form 1099 NEC for non-employee compensation. I'm going to show you the very best way to quickly and easily file your 1099 NECs for non-employee compensation. But the best part is that this system is not only going to file those forms quickly and easily without the headache, but it is going to be the most cost-effective way, much cheaper than bigger systems such as QuickBooks and much cheaper than hiring an accountant. You are going to be able to do this yourself in just a matter of minutes. Hi, I'm Ginny Silver. I'm the founder of the California Entrepreneur Collective, and today's video is sponsored by Tax 1099. This is my absolute favorite tool to file 1099 tax forms, and I have been using it personally in my own business for over a decade. Click the link in the description down below and use code SILVER15 to get 15% off filing your 1099 tax forms with Tax 1099. First up, let's talk about who is required to send and receive a 1099 NEC. A 1099 NEC is a form for non-employee compensation. Form 1099 NEC specifically reports compensations amounting to $600 or more made to non-employee parties, such as vendors, freelancers, independent contractors, and more. Anytime you pay someone who is not an employee of your business, who you have not hired nor put on payroll, then that is known as a non-employee. When you compensate a non-employee $600 or more throughout the course of that year, the IRS requires you to file a 1099 NEC for that non-employee compensation. You are required to submit this form no later than January 31st of the following tax year. This means that you're going to need to file not only that form with the IRS, but you also must issue it to the non-employee. Now, the IRS does have a portal where you can submit this form yourself. However, it is unnecessarily complicated to join this portal and submit it properly. The last thing you want is for a simple form that can be done in just a matter of minutes to be submitted incorrectly, therefore resulting in complicated penalties and fees. Tax 1099 allows you to create this form, issue it to the worker, and provides both federal and state filing of your 1099s. You have the option to deliver the worker either a paper copy, a digital copy, or both. Next, I'm going to show you exactly how to file your 1099 NECs. Before you file, there's some important information that you need to know that will be required on the documents. This is going to include the payer's details, including the payer's name, TIN, and address. Additionally, you need to include the recipient details, such as the recipient's name, their TIN, and their address. When you pay a non-employee, the IRS requires you to collect Tax Form W-9. This is going to collect their tax identification number and other personal details that is required by the IRS. Tax 1099 allows you to request the worker to complete their W-9. Simply click the button and they will send over a request for completion of this important tax form. Once you have collected a W-9 from your worker, we are going to click Create Form. We're going to select the proper tax year, and then we are going to locate the 1099 NEC form. After clicking on this, you're going to be prompted to enter in your payer information. If you've already entered it in your account, you can just select it on the left. And if you're doing it for the first time, you can click here. Select whether you are an individual or a business. If you're a business, you're going to be using an EIN, an employer identification number. If you're taxed as an individual, go ahead and click here, and then you will be entering in your social security number. If you have a corporation or an LLC and you are being taxed as a disregarded entity, where that business entity is not regarded and you're being taxed as an individual, you'll enter in your disregarded entity name here. Enter in all the details as it pertains to yourself or your business, and then you can enter in any of the optional information down here. Once this is complete, we're going to move on to the recipient's information. We can either select that this is going to be a new recipient or one that you have already entered in the system. To add a recipient, we're going to click here and enter in their basic information, first selecting whether they are an individual or a business. We're going to enter in their personal information, including the recipient's tax ID number, their phone number, and their email address. Enter in their personal address and any other important information. Once this is complete, over on the right-hand side, we are going to enter in the amount of their non-employee compensation. This is going to be the amount that was paid to this worker over the entire course of that tax year. Next, check the box if the payer made direct sales totaling $5,000 of consumer products to the recipient for resale. Next, if there is any federal or state taxes withheld apart from the compensation made, please enter them too. The system will automatically prompt you to opt in for state filing if state filing is required as per the details you have provided. You can also visit the state filing page to understand the state filing requirements for each state, and this varies depending on the recipient's state. The payer tax ID auto-populates as state ID if the state ID is not added for payer. It is always recommended to add state ID if you have been assigned one. Once all boxes are completed, head over to your forms section, and here you can click what type of delivery you would like for your forms. You can include USPS mail, e-delivery, and you can also download a PDF copy of the document yourself. Next, use the calculator to show exactly how much you will be paying for each of these services. When you are ready, click Submit. A summary of everything that will be filed and paid for will be shown on screen. In order to check the status of your submitted forms, return to your Manage Forms section and you will be able to check the status. Now, some of you may need to issue many different 1099 forms to many different workers. And in that case, Tax 1099 has an excellent feature which allows you to bulk file multiple different 1099 NECs using Excel. Tax 1099 offers data importation from 12 integration partners, including QuickBooks, FreshBooks, Xero, Excel, and many others. This time from our dashboard, we are going to select that we would like to bulk import using Excel. When you see the upload screen, you are going to drag and drop or upload your file here, and it's going to import it into this system. There is a template available if you do not have your own prepared. Once the document has been uploaded into this system, you can see the data that was imported here. Then you can select individual payees that will receive a 1099 from the list, or you can click Select All. Once you've made your selections, click Next. Once you've made your selection, then you're going to make sure that the information up here at the top is selected properly, including the form type, tax year, payer, form type, and filing type, selecting either federal or state filing. Next, select if you would like the form delivered through the mail, through e-delivery, and if you would like a TIN match. Once you are finished, simply pay and you are all done. Tax 1099 also offers a variety of other useful services for business owners, including 1099 miscellaneous filing, payroll, and W-2 forms as well. Excellent customer support with basic questions being answered immediately by AI, as well as real-life agents to assist you. QuickBooks can be easily integrated, and payer data can be imported for easier 1099 filing. Tax 1099 allows you to individually or bulk import all of the data that you would like included and issue as many 1099s for any amounts that you need. Tax 1099's pricing is not only incredibly affordable, but extremely transparent and easy to calculate. Use the pricing calculator to show exactly the price you will be paying for all services. There are no hidden charges. Not only is their pricing transparent, but it is incredibly affordable. When you compare Tax 1099's pricing for filing the same forms that could be filed using QuickBooks or an accountant, you will see how much money you will be able to save with Tax 1099. Filing using Tax 1099 offers a variety of benefits, such as easy and secure filing, quick and accurate reporting, state filing compliance. The system supports bulk e-filing. It includes USPS address validation, it integrates with QuickBooks, and it has a user-friendly and intuitive user interface. Do not get caught with late filing penalties for your 1099. Click the link in the description down below and use code SILVER15 to get 15% off filing your 1099 tax forms with Tax 1099.